The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. They bring an offer for customers, pay just $5, give $5 bonus funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Thursday, December 25th, here to break down the games for Friday, around 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Reichel, once again joined by Dylan Rock. Together, once again, we're going to break down the games for tomorrow. Dylan, how's it going with you? We're in the final couple days of the regular season. Your team is hanging on for dear life, but it was a nice series opener for you. You lost the game yesterday, but luckily so did the Reds and so did the Diamondbacks in extra innings. So I'll ask you, how you holding up? What's up?
I am doing just as good as the Mets are doing right now, holding on by a thread. Only one game. Like you said, thank God the Diamondbacks and Reds both lost as well yesterday, but I'm doing good. It's Thursday, only 4 more days until the regular season, and then we got playoff baseball, so excited to talk about postseason baseball in just a little while.
Yeah, it should be fun. I actually thought about the idea of doing a final day episode, recording Saturday for Sunday. So maybe I'll do that solo, but I feel we probably should have an episode for the final day of the regular season. So I might end up doing that in general. But either way, a point is it should be fun. A couple games to go. Let's get into it. Spoiler, though, we're missing a ton of lines. Just for the record. Unfortunately, with a lot of seasons already over for teams, they decided to scrap the entire regular rotation, and we don't know who's actually pitching for half these games. But still, point is, show must go on. We are missing some games, is what it is. But either way, time to move on into the card for Friday. Before we get into the actual games Friday, a reminder that you also find all of our picks and podcasts for SGPN on the SGPN app in the App Store, free to download. So check it out if you want all of our picks and podcasts in one easy location. So moving on to the card for Friday. Starting off, you have the Cardinals taking on the Cubs. Now for this one, you have Mikolas against we don't know, and because of that, we have no lines. So, by the way, first 3 games, we have no lines. So it is what it is. But Mikolas has been better lately. Is he good? Not really, but I will point out he has been a lot better over the last month or so. He has allowed less than 3 earned in 5 straight. So he's been playing quite well, or pitching quite well. For the Cubs, they're in the middle of a series against the Mets, and we don't know who's pitching for this one. Yeah, I don't really have a price. Cubs will be a massive favorite because they're at home, but I don't know if it really matters that much. In theory, they're trying to keep off the Padres, trying to maintain that number 1 spot for the wild card. Mm-hmm. But I'll ask you, Dylan, not knowing the prices, I don't really have much. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think we might see some runs. I think it might be Colin Reyes. Okay. So if it is, I do like the over. I set my total at 9.3. You mentioned Miles Mikolas, not really a fan of him. Over a 6 ERA. Barris hitting over 300 against him as well on the road. And the last time he faced the Cubs, he gave up 8 runs on 10 hits, 6 home runs as well. So
that was July 4th, I think.
Yeah. Cubs had a field day on him. So he's given up 2+ runs in 8 of the last 10 starts. Cubs have scored 17 runs in the last 2 innings. So bats have kind of woken up for the Cubs. And honestly, the Cardinals have been able to score some runs as well. So I think both teams will be able to score some runs. You got wind blowing out as well tomorrow afternoon in Wrigley. So hopefully we'll see some runs, but no lines to really go off of.
Yeah, feel the same way. Guess it's over, if anything. Moving on to the next game. White Sox taking on the Nationals. You have Gomez against Cavalli. For this one, we have no lines. So you're looking at 2 teams that stink. The White Sox got to 100 losses. The Nationals are not
almost
going to.
No, most.
Yeah, but they've officially prevented themselves from getting to 100 losses because they can currently finish in the high 90s as, I guess, the worst-case scenario. But Cavalli's been decent since they called him up mid-season. 4.23 ERA. He has allowed less than 3 earned in 3 of his last 4 starts. Gomez, though, has been pretty good as well. I'd say not amazing. He's been worse on the road. Been a bit vulnerable lately. He's kind of been alternating good and bad starts. But either way, Cavalli has been the better pitcher over the last couple of starts. I'll go Nationals. Not really a strong opinion, but I saw Wood at 2 home runs yesterday. They have a bit more pop in the bats. And the White Sox, at the end of the day, are the worst team compared to the Nationals. So I guess I'm on the Nationals at a price that we don't know.
Yeah, White Sox probably going to get the first draft pick as well. But probably won't bet the game. Nationals should win. My numbers made them a -150 favorite. I feel like the White Sox have kind of checked out. They've lost 9 of their last 10, and offensively, I think they're broken.
I appreciate it, though. They're helping the Yankees win.
Yeah, they are. Yankees might get the 1 seed. They're live.
Yeah, they're very live.
They're very live right now. And we'll talk about them in a minute. But White Sox, they've lost 4 of Gomez's last 5. And Cade Cavalli, you mentioned that. As soon as they called him up, I think he's kind of been the lone bright spot for this national team, especially at home. Small sample size, but they won all 4 of his home starts for him. And actually, they've won 6 of his last 7 starts. So, yeah, I probably would take the Nationals here if you really want to bet the game, but I probably won't.
Yep. Moving on to the next game. Once again, no lines for this one. You're looking at the Twins taking on the Phillies. You have Ryan against Nola. Kind of a big start for Nola because they might need him in their rotation. He's been quite bad for pretty much the entire season, with the exception of one good start. What do you know against the Mets? Since then, though, last 2 starts, 11 and a third, giving up 10 runs. So he's been terrible. We know Ryan has been quite good this season. A 3.47 ERA. Not great his last couple outings, though. Last 3 starts, he has gone 11 innings, giving up a total of 12 runs. So I'm not really sold on either option here because Philly's got nothing to play for. They're not going to catch Milwaukee. They clinched the division. They clinched a bye in the first round. So they're coasting at this point. I'll go Minnesota. I think Philly will be a decent favorite in this game. And without proper motivation, they might be overpriced. So solely based on line, I'd say expectancy, I think Ryan will be a dog. And I think there might be some value there. So I don't mind the over, but I don't mind Minnesota.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure here. We got someone in the chat. He said, D-Rock, one more chance to make my girl's birthday special. We are on the Cardinals or the Seahawks. No pressure, but I would take the Seahawks. What do you think? Can you back me up on that?
I'll go Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but for this game, I probably would take the Phillies. I won't bet it, but as good as Joe Ryan has been on the road this season, he hasn't really had a good September. 9 ERA, 11 runs given up in 11 innings, 6 home runs, 8 walks. He just doesn't really look himself. So I have a hard time backing him. I agree to your point, though, where they're just coasting right now, the Phillies. They really don't have anything to play for. But they did just put up 11 runs the other night against the Fish. I just feel like they're a wagon at home. And the Twins have punted on the season months ago since the deadline. So maybe a Phillies team total. Maybe that's probably what I would look at. But, yeah, I probably wouldn't bet this game either.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, looking at the Orioles taking on the Yankees. For this one, you have Rogers against We Don't Know. However, We Don't Know is favored in this one, -134. You have the Orioles at around +114. For the over-under, I see 8.5 juice towards the over. So Rogers actually beat the Yankees last week in Baltimore. It was the only win that they ended up having in that series. The Orioles have been great when he's pitched because he never gives up runs. He's allowed less than 2 earned runs in, I got to actually count this, so give me a second.
Yeah, you're good.
9 of the last 10. He's allowed less than 3 earned in every single start since June 18th. So he has been a phenomenal pitcher for the last 2+ months. I understand why the Yankees are favored. The game matters more. Baltimore, nice comeback today against Tampa. The thing is, if Rogers does what he did last start against the Yankees, and he pitches very well, but his pitch count's pretty high, do I think the bullpen will keep it together? I don't think so, but I'll play it safe. Give me Baltimore first 5.
Yeah, I think it might be Will Warren for the Yankees. I kind of like the under, if anything. You mentioned Trevor Rogers has been so good for the Orioles. He's only given up more than 1 run in the last 10 games 1 time. And that's including, like you mentioned, against this Yankee team. The game also went under the total as well. Meanwhile, Will Warren, I think you mentioned it a few times, I think maybe a month ago. He's been solid at home for the Yankees. And even in a loss versus Baltimore in his last start, he only gave up 1 run on 4 hits. The bullpen's kind of been the problem, not him. I think he's really good. So I'd eliminate both bullpens. I think both of these starters are serviceable, and I think they'll be able to limit each other. So I probably would take first 5 under with these two.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to the next game, you're looking at the Rays taking on the Blue Jays. Rays choked away a game today. Nobody really cares. And Toronto has been in free fall.
Yeah.
For this game, you have Hauser against Bieber. So you got the Blue Jays at minus 190. You have Tampa at around plus 158. For the over-under, I see 7.5 or 8. So we know Bieber's been good since come back off the injured list mid-season. Hauser's been fine. He has allowed less than 4 earned in 3 straight. It really comes down to if you want to lay this number with Toronto. Because Toronto has no-showed the entire series against Boston. They have a bullpen game going today. Springer thinks it's rigged for the Yankees. They're in free fall at the moment. And the Blue Jays manager is talking about how everyone needs to relax. No, your team's falling apart. You might be a wild card team. We'll see what happens, but at least you clinch a playoff spot. Give me Tampa in this game. Even if you want to go Toronto or you think they're going to win the game, there's no way I can lay 190 with a team that's been this bad down the stretch. Give me Tampa to be feisty. Maybe they want to play spoiler. Who knows? But give me Tampa at around plus 160.
Scott, who did you say thinks this is like rigged for the Yankees?
Springer.
He said that? What did he say?
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't hear it.
A couple of days ago. It wasn't yesterday because Crochet killed them.
Yeah.
Springer had the bases loaded, and he had a ground ball down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called foul. It probably would have scored 2-3 runs. I thought it was fair. I think most people thought it was fair. Umpire called it foul. So Springer ends up getting out, and then he goes to the dugout at some point, and he basically screams out, people caught it lip reading, if they want to give it to the Yankees, just give it to them already. So, yeah,
Wow.
He's not exactly, I'd say, focused on the task at hand, which is winning damn baseball games at home. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say Toronto's going through it.
What a sore loser. I did not see that. I gotta look that up. That's funny.
We need more trash cans for
Said need more trash cans. He's used to that. Give me the over. I do see 7.5. I know you said some 8s as well. My total came out to 8.6. I don't he's been fine, but I really don't think Shane Bieber's been all that good since coming back. He gives up the long ball. Walks are starting to become a problem as well. And on the other side, Adrian Hauser, he's given up 2+ runs in 5 of his last 6. And honestly, ever since coming over from Chicago, I don't think Hauser's been that impressive. I think this is a good spot for the Blue Jays to finally get going, because I worry if this offense doesn't pick up quickly, it might be a short trip in October for them. So, yeah, both teams, have been playing towards the over as of late because of the bullpen. But, yeah, I would take an over if anything. I agree. The value is definitely with Tampa Bay. I only made the Blue Jays a minus 150 favorite. No way they should be a minus 190. I don't even care that they're home. They're not playing good.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the line's too big, simply put. Moving on to the next game. You're looking at a matchup between the Tigers and the Red Sox. For this one, you're looking at the Tigers, who are in free fall, officially a game behind Cleveland right now. I mean, I mentioned Toronto's falling apart. This is an all-timer. This is a generational choke job we might not see ever again. But you have Mize going against the Red Sox. We don't know who's pitching for Boston. We have no lines. See, rumors it might be Harrison. I don't really know. To be honest, I don't really care. I'm taking Boston in this game. Why the hell would I take Detroit at all? Detroit has invented ways to lose games, and everyone is, I'd say, emotionally spent as a Tigers fan, watching this team just plummet like the Titanic. It is a generational collapse. They were up by, I forgot if it was 15.5 or 16.5.
It was 15 games.
15.5, and they were up by, I'd say, north of 6 about 2 weeks ago. And Cleveland keeps winning. They've no-showed the first 2 games in that series against Cleveland. If they get swept by Cleveland, this is going to be a quick job, potentially, for the last series. I'll take Boston. Boston showed up in Toronto. Both teams needed it, and Boston said, give me those first 2 damn games. I like how they're playing. They're hitting the ball well, and Detroit can't hit to save their lives. Give me Boston at home on the 1-1.
Do you think they would actually fire A.J. Hinch?
I asked this question to Adam on the prop show a couple days ago. I really don't know.
It has to be asked, though. Like, I'm
the one who asked the question.
Yeah.
I think you have to consider it.
Yeah,
I think he's a good manager, but I would blame the front office for getting cheap at the deadline. Your main move was acquiring Chris Paddock. Congratulations. You got overachieving performances from Glaber and from Javi Baez in the first half of the year, and they both have kind of fallen apart. you look at the roster on paper, I was never really sold by this lineup. And the offense has gone cold. The pitching's not been great either. I mean, you DFA'd Charlie Morton with 2 weeks to go. You acquired him as one of your main acquisitions. The front office kind of let this entire season down.
I agree.
Because you should have made one splash move, and you got Morton and Paddock. So you really didn't do much there. Do I think they'll scapegoat the manager? Probably. I think Hinch will get fired.
I agree.
Then again, Baldelli kept his job and Minnesota fell apart last year. So I actually don't know.
I blame the front office and kind of like AJ Hinch. They asked him, I think about maybe a week ago or last week, and they asked him like, what's going on? Like, this collapse is generational. And his quote was, it's hard to put into words what's going on. I really don't know. I don't understand how you don't know when you're the manager. That's a problem in itself. So I agree. I saw Early being listed, and then I saw Harris, but I agree.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't really matter. I don't know how anyone could back the Tigers right now. They're so bad. They got cold at the worst possible time. And the Red Sox are starting to win, and their offense has picked it up as well. 4+ runs scored in 4 of the last 5 games. And the Tigers have only scored more than 2 runs 1 time in the last 5 games. No one could back them. I like Casey Mize, but he struggles on the road. I'm off the Tigers for the rest of the season, honestly. So I like the Red Sox up to a -140 if it is Harris.
I don't think I've bet on the Tigers in 2 months.
Me either.
And I haven't missed a second of it. I faded them a couple of times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're just completely free-falling. And, I mean, you mentioned, I don't know how they keep losing games. They keep inventing ways to lose. I mean, even schoolball starts are getting wasted.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. But, yeah, give me Boston for this one.
Wow.
Moving on to your team. You have the Mets taking on the Marlins. You have Sprout. Is it pronounced Sprout or Sprout?
Sprout.
Okay. Sprout against Alcantara. For this one, you have the Mets being favored, -130. You have the Marlins at around +110. For the over-under, I see 8 or 8.5. So you're looking at Sprout, and he has been up and down so far. He hasn't really pitched much. Tells you how bad the Mets rotation currently is, because they called him up to fill in a void in the last month of the season. Alcantara, we know, has not been good this season, 5.48 ERA, but he has been better lately. Last 2 starts, 13 2/3, giving up 5 runs. So he's been better lately. Was very good against the Mets late in August. 7 innings, 1 run in Citi Field. So he was good last start against this team. Looking at his numbers, though, against the Mets this season, yeah, he's 2-0, a 2.25 ERA. I think I like the under in this game. The 8.5 is too high in Miami. I want to go Miami, but I wanted a bigger price. I don't know enough about Sprout to trust him. We saw Tong get his ass kicked yesterday because they have to keep throwing out young guys to pitch in tough spots, and he got destroyed. Maybe that happens again in this one. Alcantara's been streaky, but he has been good against the Mets. I don't mind going Miami first 5 in this game. We saw Miami have success against the Mets in Citi Field last series, which I know drove you nuts. But I'll go with Sandy and the Marlins, potentially first 5 in this game.
Yeah, I have no problem taking the fish. That's exactly what I'm doing. Knowing the Mets will probably lose this game. I only made him a -105 favorite. Brandon Sprout, he's kind of been up and down, like you mentioned, since coming up. He'll have a good game, then he'll have a bad game. He walks batters, and to be honest, I just think this is a bad spot for him. He's facing a Miami team that's playing well. They're scoring runs. They got rocked yesterday, but for the most part, they're actually playing some good baseball, and the Mets aren't. They're literally the definition of inconsistent. The bullpen stinks. They struggle on the road. I have no faith in this team whatsoever. I'm not the highest on Sandy Alcantara, but he has had success against this Mets. Look at the last time he faced them. 7 innings, only gave up 1 run on 4 hits. So, yeah, I'll take Miami. I don't care what the plus price is.
Yeah, I think that the Mets, at the end of the day, we saw them
they're not going to make the playoffs.
I think they might. I know the Reds got bailed out by a Marte robbed home run today. Arizona's getting their asses kicked. Feels like nobody wants this damn wild card spot.
I was looking at ESPN, and they have these analytics. They said the Mets have the 56% chance of getting in between those 2 teams. So we'll see. But it doesn't matter. They're going to go to LA and get swept.
Probably, but at least you get in.
But I'll say this, Scott, as a delusional Met fan, if they do get past the Dodgers somehow and we go and play Philly, we're live.
Well, isn't that a common theme? You have the NL East Division champion just losing after the bye every time.
That's exactly what happened. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, the Mets might get in because the Reds and the Diamondbacks
don't want
failing opportunities to pass the Mets.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, before we get into the rest of the card for Friday, reminder brought to you by our sponsor, MyBookie with ADG. Using the bet on football, college football, if prop builder second to none. Their motto simple: bet anything, anywhere, anytime. Use crypto for deposits and payouts when you sign up for a new account. Use code SGPN to get a 100% betback bonus, $500 for new customers. And book at ADG promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Use America's #1 sports wagering market for some of the best prices in the actual market for, once again, betting. You can also use a Novig in a bunch of states, 35 plus. Make sure it's available in your state when you check out the platform. Also, we have a nice sign-up deal with Novig. Get $50 when you download the Novig app if you spend just $5 with the code SGPN. Got the actual Novig, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games for Friday. Time to move on into the final game, or the final couple of games here for the Friday card. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rangers taking on the Guardians. Now, for this one, you have a matchup between Leiter and Ciccone. For the pricing here, you have Cleveland, who is a favorite in this one, minus 155, give or take 150. You have the Rangers with Leiter at around plus 120, 130. For the over-under, I see 8 or 7.5. Now, Ciccone, I've been critical of because he had a pretty bad stretch. Been great lately. Last 3 starts, 2 total runs allowed. He's been shoving. For Leiter this season, he's been fine. 3.92 ERA. He was not very good his last start against Miami, as he went 5 2/3, giving up 4 runs. I think he's fine, though. Cleveland's winning mainly by pitching. I don't think the offense is that great. I like the under in this game. The Rangers' offense shut down completely. They got eliminated from the playoffs. Bochy might retire. A lot of, I'd say, distractions going on for Texas right now entering the offseason. I like the under in this game. I like Cleveland in general, because why would I pick against them? But every Cleveland win feels like a 4-2 final. So give me the under 8 for this game.
Yes, hot as the Guardians have been, I actually like the over 7.5. My total came out to 8.1. Slate Ciccone's had a decent September, but prior to that, like you mentioned, he has struggled. He's given up 2+ runs in 13 of his last 15 starts. 7 of his last 11 have gone over this number as well. And for the Rangers, you mentioned Jack Leiter getting the start. He had a good August, but he's regressed a little here in September, and so have the Rangers. They're eliminated now. They've lost 7 of his last 10 starts. And, he's starting to give up the long ball more, which is concerning to me. Walks continue to be a problem for him. And with the way the Guardians are swinging the bat, I just feel like they just find holes in the field. So I think both pitchers could give up 4 or 5 runs each. So I actually like the over here, but I do like the Guardians to continue to win as well.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, Pirates taking on the Braves. For this one, you have Keller against Wentz. For the pricing, we have the Braves minus 160. Pirates around plus 135. For the over-under in this one, I see 8.5. So Atlanta's been playing better lately. Of course, when the season doesn't matter, they started winning some games. They were on a massive winning streak that was snapped by the Nationals yesterday. But 6, 7, 8, 9. They had won 10 straight. So they're 10-1 in the last 11. For Pittsburgh, they gave the Reds a serious problem the last few days. They ended up losing the finale, but they were able to win 2 out of 3. But the point is, for this game, Wentz, we know, has not been great this season. Keller peaked in the first half of the season. So I don't really trust either team, at least pitching-wise. Keller's better than Wentz. I mean, Wentz's ERA at home was 8.03, but he's been okay lately. Honestly, I don't have much I really like, but I think Atlanta laying 160 is kind of egregious. So I guess I'll go Pittsburgh first 5, but if you bet this game, go to a meeting, because I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's no reason why you'd want to back either team. I know Atlanta's been hot lately, and Pittsburgh's been a lot better at home than on the road. I have no interest at all in either team, especially now that Alabi's broke his hand. So I'm out.
Yeah, he's done for the season. That's how I feel about the Washington and White Sox game. If you bet that, you need to go to a meeting. But you got to give it up for both of these clubs. They're trying to finish the season off strong. You mentioned, especially with the Braves, 10 out of the 11 games they've won. And honestly, the offenses look good. Now facing Mitch Keller, He's given up 2+ runs in 10 of his last 11 starts. He hasn't faced this Braves team yet, but Pirates have lost 6 of his last 7 starts. I just think this is a bad spot for the Pirates in their offense. They really don't hit lefties well. And Joey Wentz has put together back-to-back solid starts. So minus 138, I think, is a very short number. My numbers made them a minus 170 favorite. So, yeah, I don't mind taking the Braves.
Yeah, I think that if you want to take the Braves, have fun, but I'm just not going to bet this game.
That's fair.
Moving on to the Reds taking on the Brewers. So we saw the Reds lay an absolute egg in the first 2 games against Pittsburgh. They got bailed out today, but a win's a win. It counts. So they're 81-78. For this one, though, you have Littell against Priester. For the pricing, I see the Brewers around minus 155. I see the Reds at around plus 130. For the over-under, I see 8 or 7.5. So the Reds' main issue right now is they can't hit. They've scored less than 4 runs in 4 straight. The 3 runs they scored, by the way, they went to extras for one of those games. So they've scored less than 3 runs in 9 innings in 4 straight. It's been a very ugly showing offensively. Now, we know Milwaukee wins almost every start Priester makes, but are they playing for much at this point? Not really. So it really comes down to if you pick motivation to matter in this game. I don't think Littell's that good. So I guess I'm on Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I mean, Priester got moved back. I thought he was going to go yesterday or on Wednesday, but he got moved back. And I was talking to Matt about this when we were on the pod, I think 2 days ago. I know the Brewers have clinched. No one's going to catch them. They got the number 1 seed. But I truly believe the Brewers want to win this game for Priester in the streak. It's 19. They got to get to 20, win his last start, go off one of the best records in baseball. And I think Quinn has been solid versus Cincinnati this year. In 2 starts, he has a 2.61 ERA. He's only given up 3 runs in 10 innings. And Cincinnati's only hit 2.16 off of him this year. You mentioned they're struggling hitting. They won today, but they did lose 2 prior to the Pirates. The offense doesn't look great. And now and we're just going to fade Littell on the road. So I like the Brewers here. It's a little chalky, but maybe sprinkle a little on the run line to get some plus money.
Yeah, I thought about maybe going for maybe a team total under on Cincinnati and just pick the offense to suck again. Littell's actually been good against Milwaukee. 2 starts, 2.25 ERA, 2.25 ERA. So maybe an under, but the Reds can't hit. So I'm not really interested in backing them for this game. Moving on to the Astros taking on the Angels. Congratulations, Astros. Remember how to play baseball. You're actually up 9-0 right now.
For once.
You were awful for about a week straight. But Detroit keeps losing. You said, fine, I guess I'll try to make the playoffs again. And you're up 9-0. For the Angels, your team stinks. Hendricks is going to retire. So his final career start.
Is he?
He's going to make. Yeah. He said he was going to retire. So, nice. I mean, to be honest, he probably should.
Yeah.
But either way, Hendricks said he's done. So solid career for him. Of course, not a Hall of Famer, but still solid long career. Pitched in Colorado for a bit. Pitched with the Cubs. He was around.
He won a World Series with the Cubs, right?
I want to say yes, but I want to just quickly check that. Yes, he did.
All right.
So
good for him.
I said Colorado. I didn't mean Colorado. I meant the Cubs, and then he went to the Angels for the last year. But he said he was going to retire. Last couple of starts have been weird. 7 innings and no runs against Colorado. 3 1/3, 9 runs against the Mariners. 7 innings and no runs against the Twins. So I don't know what we're going to get here. For the actual money line for this one, you have Houston probably being favored, but we don't have a line. So I'm assuming Houston will be favored, but no pricing. I'll ask you because Hendricks maybe goes off into the sunset on a high note, or maybe the Astros kill him. Either is feasible for this game. I'm on Houston, I guess, but I don't feel great about this game either. We don't have a line.
Yeah.
Maybe the over, but I don't trust Houston either. So give me Houston, but I don't know.
Especially after scoring 9 runs, we're going to fade them the next day. We talk about collapse with Detroit. What a fucking collapse by Houston as well. Not as
I called it weeks ago.
Yeah. We talked about it. They can't hit. We talked about it. And on paper, we've said it all year. Seattle has the better team. They just needed to put it together, which they finally did. But losing the division, now they only have like a 26% chance of making the playoffs. Between them and the Tigers continuing to lose every day, this is another scenario where neither team wants to make the postseason. I think that's a legitimate question, honestly. So Astros should win this game, but I have no idea. I only made them a minus 125 favorite. It's hard
It's
to
going to
back.
be higher than minus 125.
Yeah, it's just hard to back Hendricks. But now that you told me it's his last one, now I want him to win his last game. So, yeah, give me the Halos. Fuck it.
And once again, he had 2 scoreless outings in his last 3.
Exactly.
If you ignore the 9 earned runs against Seattle, and Seattle's been rolling, then he's actually been okay recently.
Yeah,
but
give me Hendricks.
yeah, he's probably going to retire. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the next game, you have the Diamondbacks taking on the Padres. So for this one, Arizona getting their asses kicked against the Dodgers today, blew the extra inning game yesterday. They came all the way back just to potentially fall short of a playoff spot. But you have Gallen going up against Darvish for this one. San Diego, in theory, they can catch Chicago, but they clinch a playoff spot, so not exactly a great sense of urgency from San Diego. Minus 130 for this one. I see the pricing here for Arizona plus 110. Over-under is at 8 for this game. I'll back Gallen in this one. He's been better lately. Darvish, not very good so far this season. ERA north of 5. At home, he's been better, but he was decent last start against the White Sox. Not great, though. 4 2/3, 2 runs. I don't trust him. Gallen, though, has been solid for the last couple of starts. Give me Arizona plus 110, mainly for whichever team was plus money I would take, and that's Arizona. So give me Arizona.
Yeah, I honestly hope the Padres win the game for the Mets' sake. That is, but the Padres need this game. They're already in the playoffs, but they could still win the division. They're only 2.5 back now.
I mean, it depends on how you phrase it. In theory, it's possible, but the Dodgers are up 8-0 today, so it's about to be 3.
So we'll see, but
they're basically dead.
Yeah, I just worry about you, Darvish. You mentioned it. He's been up and down for kind of the whole season for the Padres. He really hasn't done the best versus Arizona as well. Neither has Zach Gallen, but I will say, you mentioned it, he has looked better as of late. And last time he faced the Padres, Arizona won. He only gave up 1 run in 6 innings. So I think it should be a close game. I don't want to take a side. Instead, I probably would take the over 8. My total came out to 8.6. I think both pitchers are good for 3-4 runs each. And then the bullpens, who knows what will happen there. But I probably would take an over, if anything.
Yeah, I don't mind that too. But I think I'll go with Arizona plus money for this game. Moving on to the Dodgers taking on the Mariners. Mariners are chilling at the moment. You could argue that, for seeding, they can still fight for a bye in the first round. So it definitely still matters for them. They are currently 1 game behind the Yankees. That's for the 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
With Toronto? Yeah, so they got a shot at the 1 seed. So the game still matters for Seattle. You're looking at Dodgers, though, have not clinched the division yet. But, of course, they are up 8-0 right now. Sheehan is taking on Kirby. For the pricing, we have nothing. Final 3 games, by the way, no lines. So not our fault is what it is. I'll ask you for this one because both teams actually care about this game. Seattle is 50-27 at home. Dodgers are about to be 28-40 on the road. Sheehan's been fine. Kirby's been underwhelming compared to his usual expectations, but 4.24 ERA is not too shabby. ERA is in the 3.3 range at home, and he has allowed a total of 2 earned in his last 2 starts combined. So Kirby's been good lately. Mm-hmm. I'll go Seattle, but we don't have pricing. So
yeah, I agree. I think both teams need this, and even though they clinched the division, I like you said, number 1 seed is still up for grabs. They need this game. Like I said it last time, the Padres are only back about to be 3.5 or 3 games now. But yeah, I think George Kirby has been much better at home for Seattle, and he's kind of struggled on the road for the Dodgers. It was a tough road trip in Arizona for them. Now they have to face one of the hottest teams outside of Cleveland in baseball. So I just think this is a really tough spot for them. And you mentioned the home record. Mariners are nails at home. I made them a minus 140 favorite, so we'll see what the price is. But anything up to a minus 140, I probably would be on Seattle here.
By the way, for an update, if the Dodgers do not blow this 8-run lead, they officially win the division.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's over then.
But the point is, if you want to argue that they'll be hungover for this game because they'll be celebrating,
exactly.
They're traveling. They're going from Arizona to Seattle, so kind of a weird spot with a day game. But they might be drinking all night. So I don't mind Seattle for the seeding aspect. Dodgers just clinched, or they're about to, so give me Seattle at home.
Thoughts on celebration with champagne for clinching a playoff spot and not the division? Do you think it's a little weird?
I think you got to do both.
Okay. That's fair.
That's usually the move. Usually you do both.
Yeah, I just think it's a little weird. Like, I got a wild card spot.
No, because at the end of the day, it's about all the months you put into prep and actual season playing to get to that point. I get it.
Yeah.
It's an emotional release. You get to just say, we got more baseball ahead of us. We didn't completely fail. Counts for something.
Yeah.
Most teams do multiple celebrations for each milestone. So the Yankees, for example, did it a couple days ago, clinching a playoff spot. If they win the division, they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So it's usually multiple celebrations.
Yeah, division I get. I guess it's just the old man in me.
Why, you don't like the wild card spot?
No, not at all. It's like people doing champagne and getting in the play-in game for basketball. I think that's a little weird, if I'm being honest.
That could be a bit much because,
the play-in's not even the playoffs.
No, when you factor in the play-in, that's more than half the league.
Yeah.
If you have 8 seeds, you also throw in the 9 and the 10. So you actually get more than half of the league into the play-in minimum for postseason basketball. For baseball, it's 162 games. I get it. You've been through a lot. You have injuries. You have, streaks. I'm fine with it for baseball.
All right.
It's 162. It's a lot.
So it's me. I get it.
You go through the summer, you're sweating your ass off in the dugout the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
your family.
Yeah, I'm fine with it for baseball. Right. Moving on to the next one, looking at the Royals taking on the A's. For this one, you have Cameron against Morales. Kansas City not going to the playoffs again. Damn, those 2 years were nice about 10 years ago. And then since then, they've been terrible again. So either way, the Royals are eliminated. You're looking at Cameron taking on Morales. It's a series that really doesn't matter. We have no lines. So I'll ask you, because we know the hitters friendly ballpark in once again Sacramento would suggest an over. But I like Cameron. And Morales is actually fine too. So I thought about an under actually in this game, but I don't see any lines. I don't care. I don't know if these teams care.
Yeah.
I got nothing. This game doesn't matter for anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I agree. I think both pitchers have actually been really good or serviceable. And, overs they haven't even been that profitable. I know that's a thing in Sacramento. It's only 38 and 37 towards the over in Sacramento this year. But just look at the most recent games. Outside of the 11-0 loss actually to the Pirates, all the games have gone under. So I expect it to open up probably around 9.5 or 10. I probably would take the under. I think Noah Cameron on the road has been pretty good, and we know how bad Kansas City's offense has been. So nothing to really play for. I would agree. I would look at an under.
Yeah. Looking at the final game of the card, Rockies taking on the Giants. This game really doesn't matter. Giants below 500, classic Giants season. You tease the fan base, then you finish below 500 by a couple games. For the Rockies, you lost 115. On the bright side, you're better than last year's White Sox team. So you're not terrible, but you're god-awful. So that's kind of the trade-off there. Marquez, 3-15. Sounds about right. A 6.49 ERA. Taking on McDonald's for this one. We have no lines. I don't really care. But I'll go with the Giants -1.5 because Marquez has been insanely bad all season. Yeah. Not a strong opinion. These teams are awful. I'm good.
I do see lines -230 for the Giants. Total is at 8. If you want to get the -1.5 for the Giants, is at -102. I don't mind it. Yeah, I'll take that. How can you even back Marquez here? I just feel bad, honestly, for the Rockies. Losing 115 games and still not being able to pick but better than 10 due to the previous lotteries and market size and the whole.
There's a rule though, you can't get the number 1 pick back-to-back years.
Yeah,
or 3 out of the last something. So they're disqualified from getting a top 9 pick in the draft.
Oh, I feel for them. Being that bad and still not being able to get in a top 10 pick that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, but I would take the.
On the bright side, at least you have Jokic. So
yeah,
you got something.
Yeah, you got something.
Even the Broncos,
until he wants to leave,
and you got the Avalanche. Basically, the only team that sucks is your baseball team.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got that going for you. But yeah, I'll go Giants. But yeah, this might be a go to a meeting game. I'm just not interested.
We got a couple of those on the slate.
We have a lot of them. Yeah, we really do. Anyway, before we get into the Lock and Dog picks, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Arnick Fantasy. Using to play Fantasy Pick'em, chance to win 500 times your entry. Pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. And it's available a ton of different sports. Use their new offer for new customers. Play just $5. $5 bonus funds. Use the promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Check out their stuff for college football and the NFL. Off to a great start. They have a leaderboard system with weekly cash prizes for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type for any model that you build, and you can win $1K. And a reminder, we have a promo code with Rhythm to give you a discount. Use the code SGPN25 when you download the app for a 25% discount for the first month. Download over the map. Use code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games for Friday, even though we had no lines for half of them. Not our fault. Blame the sports books. Anyway, time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Dylan, what do you like as your lock and dog for the Friday card?
Yeah, for most of the games that I really want to bet on that we don't have lines for, and I don't want to give like a play where we say you need to go to a meeting. But do you think the Red Sox will be a manageable favorite here at home?
I think they should be. I mean, in reality, both. It depends who's pitching for Boston, but it's either Early or Harrison, so you don't have any studs going on the mound. If I had to guess, 130.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take the Guardians. I think they keep it rolling here with Slate Ciccone on the mound. I see a minus 142, which is better than I saw earlier at a minus 150. I think they keep it rolling here at home to lock up the division. So I'll go Cleveland. As my dog, we're going to, fade the Mets. Give me Sandy Alcantara. We're going to fade the Mets. And Mets are not going to make the playoffs. So, yeah, give me the Marlins at home.
Once again, my hot take is that you lose the series to Miami and still make the playoffs because the Reds and the Diamondbacks are incompetent.
No way.
That's my
They're
fault.
going to lose tonight, Scott, and they're going to lose tomorrow.
We'll see what happens, but you're putting a lot of stock in a couple of NL wildcard hopefuls that can't win a damn important game to save their lives. So
they won today.
Keep in mind.
Lucky. What a catch, though. I just saw it.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, point is for my lock and dog. I know what my dog's going to be. I got to just figure out what I want to go with for a lock. Because I thought about going for the under in that Guardians game. Because I think Leiter can go okay, and Cleveland wins a bunch of low-scoring games anyway. We're missing so many damn lines. I can go first 5 under in that Yankees game. I'll back Rogers. I don't mind that, actually, but I don't see a first 5 line posted.
Well, the total is 8.5, so you figure
it should be 4.5. Like if I was going to price it myself, but I don't feel great about giving out a line that doesn't exist. It would be 4.5, but I don't see a book that has it. So instead, I'll go with it. Give me the under 8 in that Rangers and Guardians game. I see minus 120 for this one. Guardians, they've been winning a bunch of games, but the games are low scoring because they're really good at pitching. Said before, Ciccone has allowed 2 runs in his last 3 starts combined. Leiter's been fine. He hasn't been amazing. But Cleveland, you're looking at the scores recently, 6 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs, 8 runs, 6 runs. So, like, the point is, it's usually around that number. I think 8's reasonable. I'll go with the under as my lock for the show. And Texas right now really cannot hit. To read off their offensive numbers, that was combined runs, by the way, for Cleveland and their opponents. Recently for Texas, no runs, 4 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs. They can't score to save their damn lives. Having said that, by the way, they have not only missed the playoffs, they have lost a total of 9 of their last 10. Full free fall. So give me the under 8 for that one. For the dog, give me Tampa. I don't like the price for them. I'll go with it at around plus 158. Toronto's managers talking about how the sky is not falling. It is. Remain calm, all is well. No, it is not. Your team's falling apart. Give me Tampa to play spoiler division rivalry. I don't mind that spot. You have a Rays team that might have some enjoyment sabotaging Toronto's division hopes. Give me Tampa, plus 158 as my dog for the show. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the actual games and the content for Friday. You have anything else you want to
add? No, go Reds and D-backs. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, Arizona's a little bit too late because they're about to lose already.
Well, I'm talking for the next game. Friday, Saturday,
Sunday. I know what you meant, but still. Yeah, I don't know if reverse psychology works when everyone knows you're a Mets fan.
No, but I actually don't want. I've talked to my dad. He goes, "You rooting for them to get?" I go, "No, like they don't deserve to get in."
True. That's a separate point. They definitely don't deserve to.
No, but that's the thing.
As a team, as a fan of the team, you want them in.
No, I'm getting very after giving them 30 years of my life, Scott. That's a long time. I'm getting very close to not being a fan anymore.
You said the team was back 3 weeks ago.
It doesn't matter. They break my heart every year.
You just said if they beat the Dodgers somehow in the first round, they're going all the way. You got to pick a lane, man.
And I'm back then.
Yeah, you got to pick a lane.
I reserve the right to flip-flop.
Yeah, as a Yankees fan, I'm happy where I'm at. Watching Toronto fall apart. Yankees hopefully sweep the White Sox and then take care of business against Baltimore. We'll see. But either way, pretty good spot for the Yankees. Shout out the 1 seed, which is pretty nice. Anyway, I'll be on the Steffi show in about 10 minutes. So I'll be giving out some football props there. Until next time, good luck to all of you.